Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Star League's coverage of the CLOL South Regional Finals between George Mason and UT Dallas. I'm Serpent, and I'm not joined here by Thresh out of Hooks, and we are getting back into the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because we are in pick bands.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like an Olaf ban in this game. He actually was a big contributor to those fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wait, we're on the same sides. Okay, so UT Dallas is on the blue side, and George Mason is on the red side. Still, sorry, I got off track. I definitely agree with you. Faith was really effective on that Olaf. He knew his goal. He knew what he had to do. Get in, do damage, get out. And he was really effective at that. But
although it looks like we're getting the same bans, yeah.
Same bans from both sides. The Johns is going to be
up again.
Yep.
The Johns was really good on Caitlyn. I'm not surprised by that one. Although
Absolutely.
they take the Morgana away, so there's going to be less of that lane pressure that they had with the Morgana Caitlyn.
Yeah, so, who is going to be locked in? The Olaf! Not shocking! Both junglers seemed very comfortable on the champions that they were playing, so it's not shocking to see that they're playing the same junglers when they're afforded the opportunity.
And Olaf is also just generally strong into Skarner. And we see the Orianna pick. That was banned in the second phase last game, so they're definitely changing it up this time.
Yeah, they really want that Orianna, and because really all 6 of these bans are very, very good bans. Trundle, Swain, Tom Kench, those are all exceptional bans. Zac, Azir, and Kai'Sa, all of those are really good bans. So I guess don't fix it if it ain't broke.
There's been minor tweaks, like we get to see the Jhin this game, and I'm really excited to see Jhin's in games. He's just such a fun champion to play, as well as he's got pretty good synergy with Morgana with his snare and her binding.
Yeah, absolutely. Morgana's able to... Me and my friend, we played a lot of Jhin Morgana, and so I played Morgana. If you lay down the Tormented Soil, then really all Jhin has to do is toss down his W, and he's guaranteed the Q follow-up from Ione, or from Morgana. So it's really effective and an effective strategy. I really am excited to see how it plays out.
The one issue with the Jhin is that it doesn't do great into tanks unless they're already low health, so I'd expect a tank shredder in the mid lane. And we got to see the GP. GP is going to be pretty strong into Ornn if he goes Grass Blink.
Yeah, he's able to lay down those Qs really as often as he pleases, but just because Ornn doesn't have the range to contest him walking up and laying down the Q. I gotta stop saying that.
Although with the mana nurse early in the game, I definitely give it to Ornn. Because just GP can't poke out as much early game without the ability to just have all that mana. And we gotta see Alistar rounding out the comp. He's going to really help the dive with Olaf.
I'm a big fan of that Alistar. If you really analyze that team's... Oh, Vladimir! Interesting! We'll get to that in a second. But if you analyze the goals of UT Dallas, what they're going to be trying to do, they pretty much have a dive composition with the Olaf, with the Orianna, with the Gangplank. So Orianna has the option to put her ball onto Alistar or onto Olaf. They can just charge in, quite literally, and Orianna is able to pop the ultimate and gets the follow-up from Caitlyn. And Gangplank lays down the ultimate. Casts his ultimate. So I'm a big fan of the composition from UT Dallas.
I'm also a big fan of the opposing competition. Vlad and Skarner are also there to dive, and Morgana can help with the Alistar combo to avoid Jhin getting just locked up indefinitely. It's really going to be who can dive better in this match. Especially
Yeah.
with the Vlad damage if he gets ahead.
Now, as far as laning goes, I'm unfamiliar with the matchup between Orianna and Vladimir. Who do you think has the upper hand in that match?
Well, I think Orianna does, but I think I'm a little biased as my Masters Orianna friend pretty much dominates any lane, so I definitely think Orianna has a slight edge, although he's saying in chat that Orianna definitely does, so
Okay.
I think it's just the poke before Vladimir gets the healing.
Yeah, Orianna is able to pretty much just dance around right out of range of Vladimir. So it does make sense that Orianna will have the upper hand in that matchup. So I don't know. Let's just go through Gangplank versus Ornn. We already kind of touched on this. Gangplank is able to just hit Ornn with as many Qs as he pleases. Ornn is going to have a tough time in that matchup. He's going to be forced to go all in whenever he can.
He does get to build the items, which will help with lane sustain. So just being able to build items in lane where Gangplank can't will really help him even out that potentially bad matchup. And then in bot lane, I definitely give the Jhin Morgana the advantage just because of the range.
Caitlyn does have one of the highest attack ranges in the game, but I mean, Jhin obviously still has very high attack range, as well as his W, and he's able to cast his Q, clear minions from an effective distance too.
Yeah, and Morgana can help set up with the bouncing grenade to get like the 3 backline and potentially get poke onto Alistar or Caitlyn with the W. And then in the jungle, I think we're pretty much going to see the same as last game. Olaf potentially with some nice early plays with his fast clear speed, although Skarner also has a fast clear speed. I wonder if they're going to do the same mismatched jungle clear.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see that. Although, what I would like to see is a little more early game aggression from Faith. Faith he's on Olaf. You are Olaf. You're able to go in early. And really, I wouldn't say that there's a whole lot of champions that are able to contest Olaf's early harassing and invading. So I think he should just go in, and Firefly's going to have a tough time against that.
So I would give I think he'll probably on the Olaf be focusing bot lane as Alistar can help with the follow-up there. So with GP, he doesn't bring too much to a gank other than damage, and Olaf does the same. For ganks to really get pulled off, you need to have the CC that many of champions top lane bring that just Gangplank doesn't have. And it looks like we're getting a Klepto Gangplank, so he's going for that gold acceleration.
Yeah, and our producer is telling us we got some minor score updates for the Big Ten playoffs. You got Illinois beating Wisconsin 2-1, and for the Midwest campus clash, Columbia College beats Columbia College is currently 1-1 against Maryville. So you can check those streams out. I don't know what the Twitch streams are, but check them out. It's CC_esports and Big Ten Network. And
of course,
yeah,
those are
all
on Twitch. Yeah.
And so we load into the matchup. UT Dallas on the blue side, George Mason on the red side, and immediately we get the disconnect and the pause.
Yeah, it looks like Keen has the somewhat common HP bug that no HP bars show up for anyone. So you kind of just have to leave the game and get back in. So it should just be a short pause.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but hopefully that will be resolved quickly. So we're getting into game. Already we see everybody's bought their items and they're prepping to get into the line of scrimmage. Lots of refillable potions, interestingly enough, on the side of UT Dallas.
I'm not
But other than that,
quite sure how much I like the refillables on Alistar, just because he might get a lot of poke from the Morgana depending how the lane goes. So that early extra pot might be a big deal.
yeah, I agree with that. And so we're just gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. But I really am a fan of this. Alex is up with Enrique, with Firefly. Oh, even Ione is up there too. All because they know that last game Faith and Will Win walked up and they got the ward. So they have the Morgana there, and they're expecting them to walk up. Will Win walking up. They don't know that Morgana's there. The root is there, and now the damage is coming through, and Will Win is going to get taken down for the first blood by Ione. Very smart play by George Mason.
Yeah, just having the knowledge from last game that happened just makes it all the easier to just pull it off and get the early kill.
Oh, and you see Ornn not even having to back in order to get his items. Gotta love it. So he starts off with an extra Sapphire Crystal, able to spam his abilities a bit more in lane. So really, really a smart play by George Mason. You gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah. I would have expected them to swap up the invade to the blue side because of just them knowing that they did it. Although that wasn't the case, so they got punished for it.
Alex had really good positioning right there in that lane. You saw her just standing out of the range of the minions and looked for a Q onto Keen. Had she been a little more accurate, that could have very easily turned into a big trade in favor of George Mason's bottom lane.
Yeah, this early laning phase bot lane really is dependent upon Morgana. She pretty much dictates the pace of this lane.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
something.
her bindings. What?
Yeah, sorry. Something that I'm very excited to see with the recent changes to a lot of the AP items. I would not be surprised to see a Morella Nomicon built by XKase's Orianna, just because of how effective that item would be against Rout's Vladimir. All because of the simple change of the now that it applies grievous wounds.
Yeah,
I believe it's at all health percentages.
Yeah, it's just dealing magic damage now, and it's already a core part of the Ori build anyways, because she really loves that flat pen to help delete the backline members.
And
so,
the mana regeneration is going to benefit Orianna as well.
Although,
so we can look out for that.
It'll just be tier into, finish the tier item into Archangels, and then Morello's is what I'm gonna guess is the Ori build. Although Skarner is out behind bot lane, I think there's a good chance that someone's gonna die here.
Yeah, the dive coming, or not the dive, the engage coming in from Keen, and now Alex forced to flash out, but here comes Firefly, looking for the damage, and now the trap being used defensively, Will Win teleporting in, the heal being used, Keen is still alive, and now Will Win coming in, Keen is solo, gets taken out by Enrique, but now Firefly is forced to escape, and he's trying, and he does, and he guts out with his life. Teleport burned by Will Win, but now in the top lane you have Faith going in behind. Oh, never mind. He's not going in behind Ione. And Will Win and the Johns just trying to take each other's CS in the bottom lane. But George Mason coming out very far ahead after that engage.
Yeah, and you can see with that Gangplank teleport that he really doesn't bring much in the early game, so he wasn't able to capitalize on anything down there with his teleport burned. On the bright side, he was able to at least get a Sheen, which will help with this laning.
Yeah, that'll help him clear the waves faster, as well as lay down, get some more damage onto Ione. There you see the Tormented Soil being used into the Q by Enrique, and then the follow-up. And now in the mid lane, you got XKase getting ignited by Routes, who doesn't have the damage to kill. But anyways, Flash was burned by Enrique. That's pretty significant, especially against a hard engaging champion like Alistar. He doesn't have the mobility to escape, So if Keen can get an engage onto Enrique, that's probably going to turn into a kill.
Yeah, although Alex has been really good with her black binding or black shields, so I don't see the Alistar really getting it because it's so telegraphed the play. Unless he flashes for the knockup, I really think the black shield will come up.
Yeah, that is true. And that is, once again, why Morgana is a really good pick. You're able to negate so much engage from the enemy team just with Black Shield.
Yeah, I would have... With the Morgana being picked so early, I would have thought you would have gone with a different tank support, but of course they're a higher rank than me, so maybe they know something I don't.
Maybe getting caught out. The ball is being used. Enrique does not have ultimate available, but he's letting down the W, and Alex does not have the range on his Q to get the damage there, and Faith successfully runs away. Rout's getting slowed, getting poked out really heavily by X Case. It's going to be the end of that engage. You know, interestingly enough, you were commenting earlier on how, yeah, it's going to be a gangplank with grass plank. But he actually took Kleptomancy. What are your thoughts on that?
With the Klepto nerfs, I really don't think it's all that great. Just because the grass also gives that healing too, right? So, from what I've seen, all of the gangplanks take grasp at the moment. At least the higher elo ones do.
Yeah, and even right now, you see Will Win is very low. Oh, Faith maybe looking for the dive onto Route, gets the Q, gets the channeling, or the chilling smites, but now he goes into the Sanguine Pool, and Firefly is coming in, and Faith gets taken out after an unsuccessful dive attempt.
Yeah, the minions really weren't there. A little early on that one.
Very aggressive and ultimately futile play by Faith.
Which, this just goes, just like last game, he had some early slip-ups that really didn't let him snowball on the Ola.
And I was talking earlier on how we see him be a little more aggressive in the early game, but maybe not that aggressive.
Yeah, Oh, and Orianna's getting...
Yeah, XK getting suppressed, getting dragged back, Root getting the damage down, but Faith is coming in, Firefly actually getting the kill, Firefly running away, very low himself, Faith getting the kill onto Firefly in return. Finally, it seems that UT Dallas have gotten themselves on the board, finally have a kill, even though they're 800 gold behind at 8 minutes, which is not a great thing. They're on the board at least.
Yeah, it's kind of just a story of last game too, with the early kills going, or early gold going over.
Yes, sirree. And now, this is such a tough lane for Will Win. Ione is able to lay down so much pressure just because he's Ornn. He has that health, he has that armor. Will Win's not really able to do so much.
Yeah, and he's almost 1,000 behind just from laning, just from CS difference. All pretty much stemmed from the teleport that just put him behind early.
And Ione is doing an exceptional job of pressuring him off of the waves. However, a little credit where credit is due. Will Win not making the mistake of overextending and giving too much importance to CS. He's giving CS up, which is very important. When you're behind, it's terrible to die just because you're going for CS. He's doing the very wise thing of giving up a CS, but now the ultimate is being used by Will Win, teleport coming through. Actually getting cancelled by Route. Or no, that was Ione's TP.
Which, that'll give him the potential TP disadvantage, so when the Gangplank ult comes back up, we might see some sort of play.
Yeah. Or really, if oh, the ultimate being used by XCase, but I don't think he has the damage to finish off Route. I definitely agree with that. However, I do think that the teleport might even come through before he has Cannon Barrage back up.
Yeah. I guess because it got canceled, I kind of just forgot about that. Although it looks like Firefly's looking to take this Air Dragon, potentially.
It's getting some vision. We'll see. Now we're back into a neutral state, and UT Dallas did some damage control, and now they're back. Oh, the Enrique not getting knocked up by Keen's engage because of Black Shield, but now he wants more. Does not get the stun, and the Johns is not available to follow up. W does come through, but not enough damage. You see that? Oh, Call of the Forge God being used in the mid lane. XK's getting knocked up, and now Route using his ultimate offensively. Now the teleport. I will win. Ione takes out XK, and now you have the teleport being cancelled by Will Win. Ragnarok comes through, saving Faith's life once again. To see does not get knocked up. 5 kills to 1. George Mason are already pulling very far ahead this game.
Yeah, the mid lane's pretty much a 2v2, and with Faith not being very far ahead compared to the Skarner, who has 2 kills already, it's really just always in the favor of the Vlad Skarner in that case.
For sure. Alright.
It looks up. No, never mind. Firefly's just clearing top lane, so putting more pressure on Will Win.
Blue buff going over to the Orianna. Not shocking there. But right now you have the Cloud Dragon, you have the Rift Herald. Both are available for the taking. I wouldn't be shocked to see Firefly coming to top and looking for the Rift Herald take. That definitely would be wise and really would put them very far ahead, further than they already are.
Yeah, it would really help them break open the game. Getting that first tower is oh so important.
Absolutely. Faith coming to the mid lane, nothing comes out of that. Wet Noodle fight in the top lane, however... Oh, in the mid lane, you got Firefly coming into X-Case. The ultimate does come through, but now Enrique and Alex are coming in, and X-Case will be taken down. Ryu getting the kill, Ragnarok being used by Faith. Cannon Barrage is now down, so 1-0 in favor of George Mason. This game is spiraling out of control. X-Case 0-3 already. Not a great game for him.
Yeah, these early rotations, pretty much by all of them, have been really important. It's just been getting kill after kill. If someone leaves a lane, you can pretty much guess that someone's dying, especially if Firefly's there.
Cloud Dragon is going to be taken by George Mason.
And it looks to be Mountain next, so...
Is it a Mountain? I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, it is Mountain.
Yeah. Which the Mountain will really help with the objective control, because Jhin doesn't bring too much to taking objectives because of his reload. So it'll help bring up their speed compared to Olaf and Ori and Caitlyn. They just bring a lot to neutrals.
Oh, Alex getting the roots onto the Johns, and now Keen actually is going to be taking the Enrique W. Ooh, a little bit of lag. I like it. Anyways, back to the game. Right now, what do you think UT Dallas can do to mitigate the amount of do some damage control against George Mason?
Well, the first step to really anything is really getting back that vision control in the river. You gotta spot out the Skarner before he can really get a kill in a lane, because it's clear that he's willing to just burn his flash as soon as it's up with the ult. So if you can spot him out early, I think that'll help with damage control. And really just letting the GP scale up, I think that's their big condition to getting back in this game.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Firefly is 2-1-3 right now, highest kill participation out of anybody in the game right now. Well, I guess not, because some of UC Dallas's members have 100% kill participation. I should say highest kill participation on George Mason. He's a very integral part of George Mason so far. And I agree, if you can shut him down, then it's going to be really tough for George Mason to get those engages.
Yeah, I think that goes for really the rest of the series. You gotta track Firefly.
Oh, but the dive coming in, now the cannon barrage as well, Enrique getting taken out, and now the going golden is Alex, but it's not enough. Call of the Forge God does come through. Ione is very far deep, and Keen forced to flash out, but it's not available. It's not enough. Ione gets the kill, and now the suppression coming through. Faith does not have ultimate available. Forced to flash back under the tower of the enemy, but he will be able to escape. Good thing that Axe missed, because he would have taken tower aggro and probably gotten him killed. But anyways, Will Win is now in the top lane, clearing out this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that GP passive's really helping him get a lot of damage on this tower. He's already brought it to half from
Sheen.
Pretty much full, as well as Sheen, yeah. He might be able to get this before Ornn gets that, yeah.
We'll have to see. He's gotten it very low so far. The Sheen is definitely there. He's spamming his abilities, doing exactly what you want to be doing in the situation. He's got the minions who are going to be dying soon. More are coming in, and he does take it.
Yeah, that'll really help bring him back into this lane. He's now got a gold lead over the Ornn, although slight. It's really important for him to try to get more gold.
Yeah, and if you look at the gold for both teams right now, UT Dallas have actually pulled back ahead. Even though they're down 4 kills, they got that first turret, and now they're able to CS so well that they're actually back in the lead.
Yeah, it just tells you how important it is getting that gold from farm.
Call of the Forge guy coming through, getting the slow onto Faith, and now the damage from Rout is there. He gets him. It's so low. He's going deeper, taking 3 shots of tower.
Oh, in bot lane we have Enrique.
Yeah, Enrique does his ultimate. Now that John's flash is out of there.
And it looks like it's going to be a dive.
Teleport coming through. You can tell they want this. 5 members of George Mason down to the bottom lane. And now the knockup from Keen going in already. Sanguine Pool coming out. Root is so low, cannot keep fighting. Ione is in the back line. The command shockwave comes through. Ione going to get taken out. Shut down. Going over to Case. And now Rout almost gets taken out by the cannon barrage. And UT Dallas did an excellent job at not getting killed. Not getting killed by that dive. Now Will Win, actually in a bad spot, dodges Alex's Dark Binding and gets some more damage down, going in so deep, letting UT Dallas secure this tier 1 bottom tower. UT Dallas are doing such an excellent job at clawing their way back into the game.
And Orianna is just, oh wow.
Oh, hold that thought. Now you got Will Win getting a kill after he gets rooted up onto... Getting slowed, Will Win wants it. He's got the damage, but now Root coming in, and he's getting some damage down too. Root solo force flash out there after his Sanguine Pool goes through. Heal coming in on to Will Win. Call of the Forge God does connect, and Faith wants that tower, but he can't risk his life because there's no minions, and now Firefly flashing for it, getting suppression, but it gets canceled by the Ragnarok, and now the ultimate does. From Case gets the knock, gets the damage, X-Case gets a kill on the Firefly, and now Ione is knocked back, but he gets a kill on the Faith, but it does not matter. He gets taken out himself in a rout. Sanguine Pool coming through. He's going to run away, and that is going to be the 2v1 for UT Dallas, but X-Case is in a bad spot. He's got to run away from route, otherwise the damage will come through, and he will get taken down. But 2 for 1 in favor of UT Dallas. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. They are popping up.
Yeah, that Oriole by X-Case really decided that fight in the jungle. It got like 3 members, and there's really not much you can do there when 3 of you get caught by an Oriole.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an amazing ultimate by X-Case. Doing exactly what you want to be doing with Orianna. You get the ultimate down, and the rest of your team follows up with damage. You have the Johns, you have We Will Win, you have Faith. All of these guys are able to put down the damage needed just to get some kills.
Yeah, and that's pretty much brought them well into the lead to start having some control over these neutrals and start knocking down some more turrets.
And now you have Faith taking this Mountain Dragon. Really will help him and the rest of his team secure more objectives. But Ione does walk up and spooks him off.
Yeah, now it looks like it's going over to the other side now.
George Mason wants this. They have the damage, and it seems like they're going to be the ones that are going to secure it. But maybe we see the Gangplank with the barrels. Nah. Firefly smites it away, and that's going to be the Dragon Take for George Mason. And now Alex getting knocked up. Call of the Forge God coming through and deleted. Will win. Kill credit. Ragnarok coming through, looking for the dive. Wants routes, but now Ione is coming in, and that damage is not. It's going to be enough to threaten UT Dallas away from going for the dive.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're... Oh, looks like we're going to have another fight top lane.
Oh, yo, Faith is very far in. Enrique doesn't have the damage. He flashes out, though. And now Enrique's in a bad spot. The coming through Firefly. John gets a kill onto Enrique. Now Firefly running away. The sun comes through. Firefly at 50% health. Doesn't have the damage to fight, but doesn't have the health to live. And ends up getting taken down by Faith.
All of these fights, even though the gold lane's well favored by one side, it's just all of these fights are very close with the health bars.
Baron being started up by UT Dallas. The vision is not there from George Mason. They're going to be deleting it. It's around 3,000 health right now.
Doesn't look like they can even really contest. There's
no Baron smite. Just gonna get taken. Faith walks up. Doesn't have smite, but it doesn't matter. Firefly isn't anywhere close.
And it looks like they can probably get all of these outer turrets down. You've got a really low one in the top, and with all of their team fights going in their favor, I wouldn't be surprised if they could really just get all three of them down. And that'll really put them in the lead in terms of gold. Be really hard to come back from that one.
UT Dallas, let's not forget, they were behind for, I believe, the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. But somehow they got the first tower, and after that they just pulled ahead. And now they have a commanding 8,000 gold lead over George Mason. That's insane. They're doing such a good job. They came back and they're looking to finish this game out. They have the Baron, but now Firefly and Faith duking it out in the jungle. The Call of the Forge God does come in, knocks up Faith, who uses Ragnarok, doesn't get knocked up. The Cannon Barrage is used. The bottom lane tier 2 tower gets used. Now the Command Shockwave coming in. Ione very low. Firefly coming in, flashing out his X-Case. Suppression coming through. Damage might be not there. Enrique looking for it. You can tell he wants Seraph's Embrace and the shields, but it's not enough. X-Case gets taken out, but now will win on the inhib turret in the bottom lane. He's tanking it. He's going to sacrifice his life as Ione and Enrique come in. Does he have the damage? Will win. Force flash out, and he's trying to escape. Enrique using the ultimate. First shot, pop, gets the kill, but now in the top lane, the inhibitor tower gets taken out, and now the inhibitor is going to be the next target of UT Dallas, and now George Mason got Root coming in, but the damage is there. DeJohns takes out the inhibitor, and now on the back foot is UT Dallas trying to run away. Alex getting so low, gets taken out by Faith, and now on the backside is DeJohns, who is so low again, gets taken out himself. Now Roto taking out the Johns, and now Keen is going to be the next target of George Mason. Does not have the damage, does not have the teammates, and will be falling shortly. Gets a knockback. Enrique in a bad spot. The minions trying to do the damage, but that is going to be an ace for George Mason, allowing them to clear the minions. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a game this is turning out to be.
Yeah, and that was getting real bad for George Mason with just everything going in the favor of UT Dallas.
Yeah,
they were just pulling him thin. They couldn't really rotate fast enough because no one can really fight the GP solo. He's far enough ahead at this point, and then Sterix just makes him actually so tanky.
That was excellent play by UT Dallas. They send the Gangplank down. Well, I wouldn't say excellent play by UT Dallas so much as a bad play by George Mason. Sorry, George Mason fans. But anyways, UT Dallas sends Will Win into the bottom lane, and he's drawing so much attention. Oh my gosh, guys, he's on the inhib turret. We gotta get there, otherwise he's gonna take our inhib. But meanwhile, you see the Johns and Keen and Faith all going up into the top lane, and while everybody's trying to kill Will Win, they sneakily take the inhibitor, the inhib tower, and then once everybody realizes it was too late. But now, we're getting into another fight. Enrique getting the follow-up, but Will Win waiting out using Cure Scurvy. Now the Command Shockwave coming in and now Route using his Sanguine Pool very effectively. The John getting knocked down the damage, suppressing onto Keen. Now everybody's trying to get the damage on you. The John takes out Firefly before he's able to take anybody away. And now the minions are coming in. The control ward is being used as a 5-core situation in favor of UT Dallas. They have the minion wave coming in. They want this tower. The trap line is so huge by the Johns. And now Ione is getting knocked up, getting knocked out. The ultimate is being used by Enrique. He gets the shots. Faith is in a bad spot. Keen very far forward, flashing out his almost 2 members of UT Dallas. Faith is so low. He gets sniped by Enrique. And now 4v4 situation, 10 seconds onto Firefly. And Keen just walking up, tanking the tower, while the Johns is laying down the damage. Will win. Doesn't have a lot of health. Ione dashing out. Now Keen too low to continue taking the tower in the red turret. The red team inhibitor turret does get taken in the mid lane.
Yeah, UT Dallas just has too much damage. There's not much that can be done in these team fights. The comeback seems pretty
a bad spot. Enrique, actually, XC's getting a kill onto Alex, and now Enrique getting a return kill. And Ione is very far forward, but oh, very smart play from Keen, getting the cancel of Call of the Forge God, but that's going to be a double kill for Enrique.
Yeah, they really can't team fight. They have to get these catches like they've been getting in order to get back in this game. And the big thing that they have to watch out for is not getting triple inhibbed, because that's basically a death sentence.
Yeah, and already you've seen, oh, the Cloud Dragon is going to be taken by Firefly. Will win, wanted to try and seal it, but he couldn't. And already, oh, the ace in the hole onto Firefly, damage isn't there though. But already, yeah, you've seen, the inhibitor in the top lane is so huge for UT Dallas. They've already gotten a lot of damage onto that top Nexus tower.
Yeah,
it's
although
really difficult.
The top inhib is definitely the best one to lose if you have to lose one. Of course, not losing one in the first place is the best case, but
yeah,
that losing the top one allows you to still contest for Baron by just pushing up that lane.
Absolutely. But with 2 towers left on the side of George Mason, they gotta be desperate. And they gotta be going on the front foot. And you see them already here, going on to Faith, but he uses Ragnarok and gets out. But really, if they're not playing aggressively, they're gonna be forced into their base. And UT Dallas could just look to end the game as effectively as possible.
Yeah, UT Dallas just has to make sure none of them get caught and they can get this Baron pretty cleanly.
Yeah, and you see Firefly. You can tell he wants to go in. Ione is using the Call of Forge God, getting the W. Now the suppression is going on to the Johns. Very important. If he gets killed, the game might be over. Johns getting taken out. Now Ione got the kill. And now Alex gets the kill onto Keen. And now everybody's trying to pile on. They get a kill onto, or Enrique gets a kill. This is a 5v2 situation in favor of George and Mason. This is exactly what we were saying they gotta do. They gotta go in. They gotta get kills. And then they're able to stop the minions from UT Dallas. But you see in the top lane, the inhibitor respawns. Now Baron is up. George Mason gonna look to take that.
And it looks like there's not too much they can do to contest this Baron once Vladimir gets back after pushing out that wave.
Yeah, this is actually really scary. Will Win and Faith still have so much damage. George Mason aren't going to be able to take the Baron. They're forced to back. Enrique backing in a bad spot, flashed on by Will Win, and now everybody's laying down the back line. Trying to get the damage on. Call of the Forge God comes through, and he gets the knock-up onto Will Win. Faith so low, gets taken up by Owen, and now the spooky ghosts come through. The root lands onto Keen, and the damage is going to be there. Gets knocked up, gets knocked all around, and Keen, 50% health, gets a knock-up onto Alex, gets him stunned. Nobody's helping though, and now the R coming out from Enrique. Keen finally getting taken out by Root, and now Enrique with the final shot, landing it onto the Johns. Now Alex forced flash out of there as the Johns is getting the damage on. Now Root getting some damage on to, the Johns getting a lot of damage on to Root. He's forcing we pool to get away, and now the Johns walking up. He knows he has the damage. He knows that George Mason's remaining members can't do anything about him. So
yeah, they're all so low on George Mason.
Yeah.
But this is what I was talking about. George Mason's gotten a new breath of life with just being able to get constant picks, and it's really bringing him back into the game. It's only a 6k gold lead now, where it was over 10.
Yeah, so where once they were throwing, they are now coming back into the game swinging. They're on their last breath and they know it, so they're just trying to fight as much as possible.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame them. They're winning all of these fights. And especially if they can keep getting on the Ori. XKS has whiffed a few Ori ults because of just so much pressure on top of him.
Oh, Call of the Forge God coming through, but Faith really wants Enrique. He's going in. He's getting down damage. Faith actually getting taken down himself, though. Enrique will live to see... Wait, did Faith get out? Faith did not get out. Enrique lives to see another day, though. Now he uses his ultimate. He's looking for XK. Keen walking up, and now the Arc Binding landing on a will win, but Cure removes Scurvy comes through. Route flashing in, getting the ultimate down, but I don't think he has the damage in order to take out anybody. But now you see George Mason walking over to Baron. It's a 5v4 situation. Faith is not alive. Smite is not available for UT Dallas. But you still have XK who has his ultimate, and he's able to do so much damage to the enemy team. We'll have to see.
And then
Baron
Enrique
actually
really
being momentarily
can't walk
stopped.
up very close because of just the threat of Alistar and how
Yeah.
low he is.
Baron's not going to be taken by either team. Rude is actually starting to back, and now Faith is able to start running onto the battlefield. Baron is still alive! Why are you backing? No, UT Dallas, you're gonna take Baron! Don't back! This is a terrible idea! Okay,
No, I
UT
think-
Dallas, you know they backed, start Baron.
I think Ion can actually hold him off Baron just long enough.
Okay. No, you're right. Ion is a very menacing threat. But now, you see UT Dallas starting up the Baron. No vision from George Mason. They're forced to walk up if they want to get any vision. Enrique in the back line, using his ultimate. Now, red team taking the Baron. Enrique with the Baron steal! And now a team fight is breaking out. Keen in the
And
front
Enrique's
line,
really far
laying down
away.
the CC. Enrique getting a 3-man knockup, and Enrique taking him out. And now we will win. Trying his best to stay on the back line, not taking damage, but Firefly is running up. He wants the ultimate XKs, using his command shockwave effectively. Alex not going to be taking that ace in the hole, and now Faith's trying to run away from Ione. And now you see George Mason with the Baron all trying to reset. Very good scale by Enrique.
Enrique is pretty much just solo carrying this game with the Baron steal and his 10 kills. He's just providing so much for this team. And they're also going to get the Infernal Dragon because of this.
He's 10-2. He is popping off more than you can imagine. And the Ione in the top lane takes the tier 1 tower finally. And the Infernal Dragon going over to George Mason, who now have 4 Elemental Drakes. They're only 2,000 gold lead or 2,000 gold behind. But at this point, it doesn't even matter. If one team is able to get an ace or win a team fight against the other, the game is over.
Yeah, and I definitely think that because of the Ornn and Skarner, they have the easier team fight to execute just from the tank line. It's just easier to just fight that way. And Enrique, with all of the tanks, there's not too much pressure on him once Faith gets killed.
Absolutely. Both teams, all the members of both teams approaching full build. You see the Mercurial Scimitar built by the Johns. Very wise pickup against the Skarner. He's able to just drag you back. Suppression. So the QSS will be very helpful. And now Faith using Ragnarok defensively. Once again, the Call of the Forge God coming through, and now Enrique using the ultimate. And now everybody's trying to lay down the damage. Now Rude is on the back line, uses his Ghost Gold, and now Firefly running up, trying to get the suppression. Does have ultimate available, blue turret does get destroyed. And now George Mason is looking for 2. Keen, so low, you can't be there. Ione rushes forward, Keen gets taken out. Firefly tanking tower. Now, oh, Enrique not getting the snipe onto X-Case. And now you see George Mason, 5 members still up. One of them very low, but Enrique is still walking forward, and the Johns really wants him. George Mason with the massive medium Baron powered wave. Walking up. You're going to start to lay down the damage onto the tower. The John's trying to clear some waves, but he does not have the abilities for the damage. And now rooted up is We Will Win. And he uses Remove Scurvy, runs away, and now it seems that George Mason wants to reset.
Yeah, they all have low health bars and Alistar's coming up. They definitely couldn't win a fight if it were to break out. And this Elder Dragon that's going to come up is just going to be so good for George Mason. They have 4 dragons to the none of Dallas.
Yeah, and I believe the Elder Dragon is going to be spawning soon as well. So if George Mason are able to secure the Elder Dragon, they're going to have such a huge competitive advantage, not only with the Infernal Dragon being buffed up, or that's from the Infernal Dragon, but also just the burn. That's going to be very effective in team fights, and UT Dallas really can't afford to give that up.
Yeah, and Air Drakes are actually pretty good when you have Elder Dragon. They give they just give so much move speed that you can rotate much faster too.
And Firefly on the Skarner with Righteous Glory. You're going to see him going at Mach 7, running towards the Johns. So it's going to be really tough for him just to stay alive.
Although the Johns has Mercurial Scimitar, so he should be able to get out of the Skarner ult, as long as he doesn't have to use it for any other CC.
Yeah, and so right now, what I want to see Faith stop doing is getting caught out and forced to use Ragnarok before a team fight breaks out. That's happened so many times already. Really, if Faith doesn't get caught out and he's able to use Ragnarok offensively, then he's going to be such a big player in a team fight. But right now you see him, he's channeling the Predator, he's going onto Rout, he's using Ragnarok offensively, and now Rout is flashing forward, XCase is trying to escape, and now Firefly getting stunned up, and now Rout taking him out. Now Faith, Call of the Forge God is coming through, Enrique on the backline with the ultimate, now Faith getting knocked up, getting hit by Enrique's ultimate, and now he's waiting, he wants the damage to go down. Rout is on the backside, he's taking so much damage, he gets Q empowered, healing up Keen, tanking so much damage from all 5 members of George Mason, but he's trying to run away, still dodging the Alex's Dark Binding. And now John's flashing forward onto Rout, does not get the kill, but he's getting the damage onto Joan. Enrique with the 4th shot, going to be reloading, and now George Mason are going to be backing off.
That was such a clutch pull by Rout. He was able to dodge the auto attack from Caitlyn. Really just keeping him from dying, which will allow him to push it much sooner after they back and reset.
You know, we were saying last game that, or a little bit ago, that Enrique was the MVP of his team. Right now, I think the Johns is the MVP of his team. He's so effective at keeping his team's hopes and dreams alive. And really, I think because of him, the game isn't over yet for UT Dallas.
Yeah, it's really just been a whole bunch of catches that have just brought him back into this game.
Baron is spawning, and George Mason are getting the dominant vision control as they are known to do. Vladimir is not there. It's 5v4 situation.
And Elder Dragon's also spawning pretty much at the same time as Baron. So
yeah,
it's really important that Dallas doesn't give over the Elder Dragon, because that'll either dictate that Baron also goes over, or just Elder Dragons might just win him a team fight and win him the game.
Forge God coming through, gonna get the knock up onto Johns and Keen. Now Keen, so much damage. The Rocket Barrage comes through. Now Enrique with the shots. The Johns so low, trying to back out of there. And everybody's laying down some damage. Rout takes out Keen. The Johns is dead as well. Faith tanking the damage, but he doesn't have that much health. Firefly getting taken out by now. Alex seems to be the next target. XCase gets out. He's the one who gets the kill credit, but now Rout is on a rampage. Will Win is the only surviving member of Team UTD, but he is on the back line, and now George Mason know this. They're going to be looking to end the game. Finally, he's able to back in the damage. The minions are all stacking up. 3v1 situation. George Mason are going to be looking to end the game. They're going to be... They have the minions. They have everything they need. Call of the Forge God is coming through. And now the first turret is getting taken down. The second turret falls shortly after. And now the minions are there. Can they end? You have Enrique, and the game is finally over. Ladies and gentlemen, George Mason take game 2 against UT Dallas.
Yeah, and I think Dallas just needs to draft 2 tanks on their team, honestly. I think that'll just make team fights so much easier to execute on.